This is on my heart. I had a whole 2.5 hour conversation with a friend of mine about this. And I was like, I am wholeheartedly about to go live. I have not felt that great today. Hi, Lula. I have not felt that great today. And I literally have pretty much been in my bed. But I said, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to go live today about this topic because I had a 2.5 hour conversation about this topic. And it's nice to know that I'm not alone in my thought process and feeling this way, that Christian women have been sold a whole lie. And I say that as a traditional Christian woman that truly has been born and raised in church and conditioned to believe a certain way about relationships and marriage. And while I don't believe you should throw the baby out with the bathwater, there is a lot of misinformation that we have been fed that's just like completely false. Thank you for buying a badge, Lula. I appreciate it. Thank you, Love of Marriage Huntsville. Yeah, I feel good. I'm actually wonderful, y'all. I just have been battling a little bit of a of a of a oh, I don't crazy today. Just trying to rest. Rest is good for feeling bad. But I feel good. I feel much better. And thank you guys so much for asking. So let's just talk about this whole conversation. So this actually struck me. Hi, guys. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. I know I've been MIA and I apologize for that, but your girl has been busy. So I'm trying to get back on it with being more consistent with going live on YouTube, Facebook, and IG. So it's easier if I do it at the same time. So anyway, so I was actually reading Genesis today. And in Genesis 2, it talks about the creation of woman, right? And so I'm reading the text, and the text literally says that a woman is not created to be a helpmate. She's a helpmeet. Let's start there because we talk about helpmate. She's a helpmeet, not a helpmate, MEET, meet. And man does not find her. God actually brings woman to man. So they are united by way of God bringing him to her. What also struck me is that the text actually never addresses whether or not Adam is even cognizant of the fact that he has lost a rib so that woman can be created. Let's just start there. So this whole notion of a man finding his rib, where do we get that from? Because that's not actually in text. He's not cognizant of the fact that he's missing a rib so that woman can be made. He actually is, the woman is brought to man so he can name her. And it is at that point that he becomes conscious and makes a choice to name her woman, because he is clearly enlightened to the fact that she is not like him. Okay. So I'm like, if this is not even in the text, where are we getting the notion that a man is walking around here looking for his rib when it's literally not even biblical? Woman was actually united to man. God brought woman to man. So why are we teaching people that a man is walking around here looking for his wife? It says if he finds it, it's a good thing. But if he has to find it, it means that really wives are not necessarily all out here plentiful and such. That's a whole different discussion for a different day, but I'm going to stay right here on the whole man finding a wife thing. I believe that due to religious construct and moralism, that we have conditioned women to believe that a man his sole purpose is to walk around finding them. When I honestly believe that when a man reaches a certain level of maturity, he understands that a part of him fulfilling his mission will honestly be lacking in some capacity until he connects to a woman that can help him fulfill the mission. However, that doesn't mean that he's doing that all of his life. It's just not, it's crazy. So I believe we've set women up for failure, honestly. because women are sitting here putting their lives on hold until a man finds them. And there is nothing in the Bible that speaks to a wife being on hold, not living her life, not getting her finances together, not doing her own purposeful living, not traveling, not pursuing certain like levels and endeavors in life till a man finds her. Let me just say, is it Ziegler? Listen, I don't disagree that men are hunters, but there is nothing that says he is to hunt for a wife. That actually is not biblical, and that's what we have been taught, that a man is around here hunting. And really, it is man's mission to be in purpose. A part of the reason why Eve was brought to Adam was because he was in the garden in purpose. Do we ever pay attention? I'm wondering if we actually read and actually pay attention to stuff. And I think that's been my whole issue with the whole kingdom marriage movement and relationship goals, when honestly your goal should be to be sufficient on your own, to be growing on your own, to be evolving on your own, so that when you connect to a person who is like-minded in mission and purpose, then you guys can align and fulfill your mission together. I just want us to stop lying to Christian women so these ladies can quit sitting here putting their lives on hold until a man finds them. And we can quit buying up all these Kingdom Wives courses that are literally lying to us about the whole process. Waste the money. I'll never do it again. Only if it's only to teach y'all how to think appropriately and to live your life and not be sitting up here pining away until a man finds you. Because honestly, if you're in purpose, you should align with the person who's in purpose with you. I'm just saying. I think a lot of Christian women are going to end up single, alone, and old maids because we are sitting here wasting away, whining about some man not finding us. And that's the thing, Caressa, no, because even the story of Ruth and Boaz is taken out of context. That's taken out of context. We don't think about societal construct at the time of Ruth and Boaz. Women were considered property, and they had no status and value unless they were connected to a man. And so a lot of Ruth making herself available for Boaz to peep her was because they needed to have value. They needed to have protection. They needed to have covering. A woman was dead in the water if she wasn't connected to a man in that time frame. So no, women, Christian women more specifically, didn't learn jack diddly squat from Ruth and Boaz. Now we running around here talking about I'm praying for God to send me my Boaz. Do you want some old ninja trying to marry you because you need to be found? You need to be covered by a man. Now you got to go sleep with somebody that's 40 years your senior? Think about the realities of it. I know I've been there, done that, don't want it. Didn't like it. As y'all can lie if you want to. Well, I just want who God has for me. Be real about it. No, you don't. She did what she had to do. She literally did what she had to do to survive. That was necessary to her survival. So we got to listen. Christian women, you better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing with these people. Y'all better stop playing with these people that are setting y'all up for failure, sitting here pining your life away, waiting on some man to find you. Because the other part of that we don't ever address is, what if he never finds you? Are you going to lead a fulfilling, purposeful life if you are never found? And most women don't want to look at that and address that. I've had to come to grips with the realization that at 41, if I never got married again, would Winter be okay? Yes, I would. Would Winter's life still be fulfilled? Yes, it would. Would Winter still be able to live and be fruitful? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But we've created such a complex because we're not connected to someone, yet we're letting our life and our purpose pass us by. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, we have to look at sheer mathematical statistics. If we want to be completely 100, there's a lot more leeway for men than there is for women. And that's the other thing too. We talk about marriage being a ministry. Fine. Nothing against that. However, the reality is that not everyone will be married. And so you have to understand that there is a ministry that is to be tended to if you are never to connect to another person. I find it very interesting that we talk about promoting the ministry of marriage when Jesus and Paul, two of the most prolific men in the Bible, were actually single. So that says to me that we are not actually teaching, I believe, biblical principles in its entirety in a way that edifies and elevates people regardless of their status. How do we teach people to be honestly fruitful and purposeful regardless of whether or not they have a ring on their finger? I literally counsel women all the time who are depressed because they are sitting here waiting to be found, which is absolutely mind-blowing and sad to me. I'm not belittling marriage. I actually believe in the institution. That this has nothing to do with belittling marriage. Marriage is not to be belittled. It's honorable. But the issue is that we have also idolized it too. It's yes, Kim, it is an absolute idol. It's an idol. I literally counsel women all the time who are literally about to lose their bricks because they have not been found. Make it make sense. It doesn't. And then people want to get mad when people actually call out the hypocrisy of it all and the lack of biblical grounding that mindset offers to people who may honestly never get married. That's reality, y'all. What are you going to do? Like, what happens? What happens if that's not your reality? And there's a lot of depression that goes on behind closed doors because they haven't been found. And you ain't lying about that, Christy. Some people do just want marriage for the intimacy. Instead of addressing their sexuality and self-control issues, they want to hurry up and get married. Think about the number of shotgun weddings and subsequent divorces that happened as a result of those shotgun weddings simply because people didn't want to learn self-control. It's real. It's really real. Listen, what I will say, what I will say, the whole notions of counterfeits is not biblical. I'm sorry, not sorry. I know we love to say it and talk about it. It's nowhere to be found. It's just not. And marriage is really the power of choice. It really is. Power of choice. We all get to choose. But I believe through maturation and through wisdom and through honestly learning, yes, counterfeits, growth queen. If you are in the church, you hear all about counterfeits, covenant and counterfeit. A lot of stuff is cliches made up to attract conversation and clout and audience, but it's not biblical at all. Nowhere to be found. We're just literally going with trends, and it sets us up for failure because, yes, Kim, there is literally a lot of unlearning that has to happen. And I'm speaking specifically to Christian women because we usually bear the brunt of this horrible theology. And these Christian men, honey, guess what they're not doing? They are not literally sitting here waiting to find the next Christian woman. You know what they're looking to find? A woman who's peaceful, a woman who is willing to get on board with his mission, a woman who is a good mother, a woman who understands that he needs a safe place to lay his head and his heart. You know why? Christian women get so mad at women like Sierra and Megan Good for snatching up these men. And granted, Megan Good is not married to Devon anymore. But there's a reason why Devon didn't choose nobody out the church. And people may say, oh, well, it didn't last, but he could have chosen anybody in a church. The things that Christian men put at the height is actually quite similar to men who don't go to church at all. Because at the end of the day, every man desires peace and respect. And there's a lot of men who would rather take a woman who may not be all holy roly-ish, and that woman provides him peace and respect and sex, than dealing with some of y'all judgmental Jezebels that want to quote 50-11 scriptures, but don't know how to respect and talk to your husband. Sorry, not sorry. I can say it because been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. I was horribly disrespectful to my children's father when I was married to him. That is something I had to go back and apologize for my nasty attitude, thinking that I could get away with it because it was my time of the month. Different story for a different day. But if you ever have taken one of my classes, you know I don't subscribe to that theology at all. Your menstrual cycle is not an excuse to be disrespectful. And at the end of the day, men love respect, peace, sex, period. And it ain't gotta be from no Christian woman. He got to hear your mouth. He got to hear you critiquing. He's got to hear you fussing. He's got to hear you condemning, treating him like he's your child, telling him what to do, what not to do, how to do it. The Bible said this. And I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't provide a level of accountability, but there's a way in which that is done that can still be respectful and not diminish a man's manhood. And I know a lot of men who ain't about to deal with a Christian woman with a reckless mouth. Say I'm lying. If you're a man on here, say I'm lying. I know I'm not, but say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. You said that that's sharp tongue. I threw that sharp tongue out the window. Listen, sharp tongue ain't gonna cut it. Men don't want it. They don't. I know thank you for affirming that I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Baby, if you gonna be a prude, you gonna wear turtlenecks up to your ears. You're not gonna be a little sexy for me. I'm sorry. Don't no man want no unattractive woman. And this is not a matter of ugliness or prettiness, because that's all subjective. But every man wants his wife to be at least attractive to him. And we literally water women down, make them look like they're 50 years older than they are. And then you want to sit here and be like, I don't understand. I'm not sure why he chose Megan Good. I know why the heck he did. I know why he did. I know why he chose her. I know why Russell chose Sierra. It wasn't her good heart first. He might have found her heart later. But baby, listen, body was bodying, and he was attracted first. Ladies, quit listening to these women who want you to dress with these turtlenecks up to your ears. Unless he is Latter-day Saints, or he is Mormon, or there are religious constructs that ban a woman from showing certain situations. Quit listening to these women that got you wearing these turtlenecks up to your ears. And I'm not saying you got to have all your assets out, but you better look like a lady. I ain't met a man yet that didn't want an attractive woman. You out here dressing like you're about to serve the Pope. It just doesn't make sense. I can't stand to see a young woman look like she's 40 because she's dressed like she's 60. There's no way that even remotely would get a man excited. And people are like, literally like, oh, well, a man who serves the Lord ain't looking at your body. Shh. Lies you tell. Lies you tell. It's a reason why a lot of these pastors is sleeping with choir directors, because the choir director probably got a slit while his wife is sitting in the front pew with a turtleneck on. So we can eliminate the need for attraction all we want to. Ain't enough Jesus in this world that's going to fix lack of attraction. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Attraction matters. It's a part of it is a part of the way things were made. God made attraction. Listen, yeah, and no, them jean skirts ain't hitting either. I'll never forget that growing up, I would literally make note of the women who wore the all white suits with the black pantyhose and white pumps and really thought that they were doing a darn thing. And I'm like, that is not cute. That's not cute. Where they do that? Why? That's not cute. Thank God I have been delivered. So listen, y'all could be mad at me, but let me tell you what. People might not like the way I deliver certain things, and I'm really not trying to be ugly or rude. But our theology on relationships in the church is backwards. It sets women up for failure, and it is not conducive to a woman even making herself available to find a husband. And I'm not saying we should be out here just looking, but at the end of the day, we're so shrewd and we're so prude that we're not even in a place, in a space where a man would even think of us as fun. Fine, have your principles. This is not about sleeping around and having sex, because I believe that you can be sexy without having sex and showing all your assets. But at the end of the day, you also have to be a woman that is open and available. I meet a lot of Christian women that ain't open and available to doing nothing. Like, y'all are boring. Absolutely boring. And then you want to be frustrated because a man is not attracted to that. He don't want to be bored, sis. He don't. It's one thing if you're not giving up the cookies, but at least have a personality or three. Like, be funny. Be willing to try new things. I'll never forget a lady that said she couldn't go to Top Golf because there was a bar in Top Golf. And I'm like, what does a bar in Top Golf have to do with you playing golf? Because it's a bar? You mean to tell me you can't walk past the bar? But she didn't want to go to Top Golf. She was offended that the man invited her to Top Golf because there was a bar in Top Golf. Y'all, we are ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I said, honey, I don't know who little baby gonna marry, because I wouldn't marry her if I was a man. There ain't no way, no how. Listen, some of y'all, the things I come across, some women have no personality whatsoever. But literally, she was offended that he invited her to Top Golf, and she didn't drink, and she didn't want to go in any place that had a bar. Y'all, we got to cut the crap. Like, cut it out. We do too much. We do way too much. It is literally ridiculous. We are going to remain largely the largest group that are single. And let me tell you what is statistically true. Christian Black women are some of the most unmarried women that there are. It's true. It's already bad enough that the statistics are actually stacked against Black women. We are the least likely to marry. That's what statistics tell us. Least likely. But when you throw in the religious component, that number is actually even higher. Even higher. And a part of that has to do with the fact that we are literally pigeonholing ourselves to like 3 different men that we're even willing to date and talk to. 3. Everybody fighting over the same three Christian men. I'll never forget being in a singles group. And it literally was like 5 men. But the funny part is that the 5 men, and I don't mean no harm, if y'all watch this after the fact and you was in that group, I don't mean no harm, but I'm giving you the honest tea. I was in an all singles Christian group, and I'm telling you, relatively average men, and I don't mean that in a condescending way, relatively average men were literally having their pick of the litter in this singles group because there was more women than men, and it seemed like these were the only Christian men that were available. And I mean average, y'all. Average looks, average jobs, average. And these jokers was in there acting like Jay-Z because they was like 1 or 3. And the women just thought they were amazing. Not to mention these men still had flaws and issues and all sorts of stuff that came with them. But because they were the only Christian men, the women just were fighting over them. Absolutely fighting over them. Foolery. My advice to single women, because people can say what they want to say. Well, Winter, you've been married more than once. Oh, well, guess what? Winter has never been a bridesmaid. Guess what? Winter has never been a bridesmaid. And while I may have had my challenges, I have never had a problem finding a husband. Let me just start with case in point number 1. Y'all quit listening to these relationship coaches, especially these Christian ones who have y'all preserving y'all whole life to be found. It is silly, it is not productive, and it is keeping you single. Throw all your stuff in the trash. Boaz is not coming. Boaz was dang near 70 years old, trying to help out a little girl that needed to be claimed because her husband died. Okay? She was attractive. She could produce more children. She could help him build legacy. Stop saying that you're looking for Boaz. He's not coming for your ass. Okay? Just want to put that out there. Number 2. Quit dressing, looking like you are literally on Sister Act 3. Please. I'm not saying you got to be naked. I'm not saying you got to be naked. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not beneficial for you to wear turtlenecks up to your ears. It's not. It's not attractive. It's not cute. And no man wants that. I don't care how saved he is. He's a man first. I'm trying to help y'all. What I never have is the lack of options. If I am single, it is because I choose to be single, not because I have to be. I'm being honest. Quit dressing like you are 45 when you're 25. You can find cute and attractive things to wear that don't make you look like you're a whore on the corner. And if you're a whore on the corner, God bless you. I'm not trying to judge, but you hear what I'm saying? The turtlenecks to the ears, y'all, it's not cute. And can we, for the love of God, do away with the tutus? There was a trend in the Christian community where Christian women were wearing these tutus and t-shirts. Y'all too old for that. That is not cute. I really hope that is out of style. Please do away with them tutus. He don't want that. He's not looking at that. He does not think you are closer to Jesus because you're wearing a t-shirt that says, I love Jesus with a tutu. It's not cute. I don't know who invented it, but it needs to just go away. Let it go away. Please, death to tutus. God bless the tutus, but death to the tutus. Please stop it. We got to do better. I believe that women are meant to be women. We should be feminine. We should be soft. We should be attractive. We should be pretty. I do. We should smell good. And don't tell me about no CVS. If we need to do a class on perfumes, please, I would more than be happy to host one. But Dollar Tree perfume ain't it. Get you one good quality perfume, honey. Make sure you smell good, okay? Men like women to smell good. You should smell like a lady at all times, okay? Please, tutus and turtlenecks. Let's bury them once and for all. Once and for all, let's do away with it. Learn how to control your mouth and attitude. This a hard one. I get my time of the month too, ladies. I be stressed and pressed. Sometimes my attitude have a tendency to be on 1,000. But you gonna have to learn to control your mouth. Don't no man want a disrespectful woman who is reckless with her mouth. That don't mean you can't hold him accountable. That doesn't mean that you can't speak your mind. That doesn't mean that you cannot be honest. But you cannot be reckless. You cannot be reckless. You can't. You can't be reckless. You can't use your time of the month as an excuse to be reckless. It's not okay. I grew up watching women snap, pop off. I mean, straight snap, crackle, and pop when it came to that time of the month. That's not an excuse. I'm so serious. It's not. Learn how to try new things. Y'all, I promise y'all not going to die and go to hell if you go to Topgolf. And quite frankly, you ain't going to die and go to hell if you sip a little wine, but that's a different story for a different day because some of y'all ain't ready for that. Fine. You don't want to drink wine? No shade, no problem. But a good winery will actually loosen some of y'all tightwads up. And maybe y'all would get out them turtlenecks if you had a glass of red wine, which is actually technically good for your heart. But, y'all claim Jesus didn't drink no fermented juice. Y'all believe in that Welch's grape juice was served at the Last Supper. Y'all like it. I love it. It's actually poor theology and it's not accurate. And y'all want to dig into the science talking about it wasn't fermented. There's a reason why Paul was absolutely adamant about the fact that you should not. Why be drunk with wine? And let me just say, he was actually asking a question, not telling them what to do, because even Paul understood that men have free will and it was not his place to tell a person what to do. He said, why be drunk with wine when you could be drunk with the Holy Spirit? Meaning you had an option to drink and be drunk, but it's actually not good for you when you could be drunk with the Holy Spirit, full of the Lord versus full of the wine. Y'all not going to die and go to hell over a glass of wine, but let y'all tell it. It wasn't fermented and Jesus was drinking Welch's. It's ridiculous. Y'all absolutely wear me out with the lack of reading your word and true theology. Loosen up a bit. Some of y'all too tight. Men like women to be fun. They like for them to literally. Oh no, I don't believe all churches are the same. I actually go to a church where our pastor don't teach that. He actually teaches us it's okay to have a glass of wine. Thank God. I don't believe in going to churches that teach poor doctrine. I don't. But have fun. Have fun. Be more adventurous. Try new things. Get outside of your comfort zone. Be playful. Be flirty. Y'all know some women don't know how to flirt. And flirting is fine. Flirting does not mean that you want to sleep with a man. Flirting just means you are showing interest. It is not a man's responsibility to pull your interest out of you. It is not okay to play hard to get. It is not okay for him to try to figure out if you like him or not. Ain't nobody got time for that. You grown. Grown. Just like you don't want to have to guess whether or not a man is into you, a man don't want to guess whether or not you're into him. If you're not into him, but for God's sake, be honest about it and let that man go. Loose him and let him go. That's all I got. I just honestly had to get that off my chest. Listen, I believe that opposites do attract. There should be a level of like-mindedness in any relationship that is meant to work. Learn to take your time. You're not going to hell if you date. That's another lie that we've been told. The Bible doesn't address dating, which means that dating is up to choice. We're going to get enough of theology that tries to control people's free will because it's not biblical. God gives us choice. He gave us free will for a reason. And so I honestly believe that a lot of us have to be more mindful of the theology that we're consuming through the eyes of man and religion. Literally, it has jacked so many of us up. And I'm in a sincere process of unlearning myself. Y'all, I may sound like I'm upset. I'm really not. It's just my delivery. Just my delivery. But it needs to be said. It really needs to be said. It's really so sad. I feel that a lot of women are missing out on life. They're missing out actually on finding true love because they're so rigid based off these horrible religious cliches and doctrines and guidance that we actually limit ourselves from finding love. And a lot of these people who are selling y'all these wolf tickets don't even practice it themselves. I know plenty of these preachers who live reckless behind closed doors, yet they telling y'all what not to do, how to do it. Ladies, make sure you dress like a lady. Ladies, make sure. And the sad part is he the main one cheating with the one who dressed like a prostitute. How is it that you have conditioned a whole congregation to believe they should cover up, yet you're attracted to the woman who is not? It don't make sense. Thoughts on dating? Date. The more comfortable we become with the process of dating, I believe we'll have a lot better rate at the success of marriage. The issue is that we are conditioned so much for marriage. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the end goal being marriage, but we're not comfortable with the process of dating because dating takes time. And so until we make peace with time, dating is always going to be uncomfortable for Christian people because we believe that dating somehow negates the process of covenant and commitment, when honestly, dating helps you eliminate people that aren't long-term. I literally can't even count on two hands how many women I know right now who married a man that God said they should marry that are freaking miserable because they didn't take enough time to get to know the person they're married, and they are miserable with the person they are now stuck with doing life with because they didn't date long enough. They dated for 2 minutes and got married 2 minutes later. Dating is about collecting data and finding out whether or not that person is compatible with the larger mission at hand that you both are meant to complete. But because we are so anxious when it comes to time and we want to rush our tails down somebody's aisle because we want to go brag on social media that we've been wifed up and show a ring and God gave us a supernatural marriage, which actually is not biblical either, but different story for a different day. Sounds good on social media, drives those numbers up. Ain't no such thing. That's not in the Bible. You better learn to take your time because a lot of these supernatural marriages are supernatural divorces. Ask me how I know. And I ain't ashamed to admit that I was a victim of it. Had to sit here and literally be honest about the fact that, you know what, I missed the mark on that. Wasn't nothing supernatural about that. Foolery. But our religious consciousness of a thing will have us believing that something is God when it really is just religion. It's just religion. We honestly make God sound schizophrenic. We do. We make him sound absolutely out of his mind. Absolutely out of his mind, because we literally get so obsessed with theology. And I don't even want to call it theology. We get obsessed with religion. We get obsessed with how it glitters in front of people. And oh my gosh, it's so amazing to tell my supernatural marriage story. When what you really don't want to admit is behind closed doors, you're supernaturally miserable. You marry someone you actually weren't really compatible with because you rushed the dating process, so you really don't know who you're married to. You still have to actually get to know a person even after you marry them. But think about how much harder that is when you really don't freaking know a person. I didn't discover some of the things I absolutely abhorred about this last spouse I married until after we said I do. Baby, listen, we were 6 months in, and I was like, I don't even really know if I like this dude for real. Do you know how horrible that is? But in the back of your mind, you're having to figure it out because in your mind, you said, God said. And God is looking like, did I say? Did I? did I say that? Kind of sort of gave you a brain. Kind of sort of gave you wisdom. So you know what? When I had to take the L and realize, no, fam, God wasn't nowhere in this, because I don't believe God would set me up with somebody that would behave in this manner. I had to take the L in that. I had to say, no, Winter made this choice, and it was a horrible one. Horrible one. And I don't care how much you fast and pray. A bad thing is a bad thing is a bad thing. And we cannot spiritualize ourselves out of something that is just bad. And I believe oftentimes a lot of us want to skip the process because we really don't want to do the work. We're actually quite lazy. We don't want the work that dating requires, because in some aspects, dating requires a level of maturity that a lot of us don't have. And it forces us to address some of the rejection that we're not willing to face either. A lot of us have rejection issues. And so we don't really want a long dating process, because a long dating process may actually like weed a person out. And that's something a lot of us don't really want to deal with. It's like, crap, if this doesn't work, then I don't like the feeling of feeling rejected. When actually, if it doesn't work, then you just got saved some problems. I wish to God I had waited, honey. It would have saved me a lot of time and money, because divorce is expensive. Expensive. I would have rather have had my coins in my pocket. Just saying. Would have rathered. So we need to quit telling Christian women not to date. That's another lie. I hate that. Stop lying to people. There's nothing in the Bible that actually addresses dating. So my thoughts on dating is that it's free will and free choice. Date responsibly. Date deep. I used to say that all the time. Date deep. Dating deep requires process and time. Therefore, when you actually get to the decision of choosing someone for long-term in marriage, you got enough data at least make an informed decision. Ain't no way you making an informed decision in 30 days. I promise you now, the success of marriages of 30 days or less, it's the exception, not the norm. I promise you. It's the exception, not the rule. And it is frustrating to me that we condition women to believe that we shouldn't take our time. I actually have been in scenarios and circles, and I have been told directly, that if a man believes you are his wife, it shouldn't take a lot of time. Lies. Lies. Time is not indicative on whether or not you're the right person for a person. Process. The data you collect, the ability to do life together, the ability to decipher whether or not your purpose and your missions are aligned is what actually determines whether or not you're the right fit for a person. But time is not a defining factor of whether or not a person is for you or not. And we need to quit lying to people. If a man really wants you, he don't take that much time. You don't know that. You do not know that. I have a friend, a group of two friends. They just got married. I actually did the prayer and blessing at their marriage. They got married in 2021. They dated for, I think, 5 or 6 years. And he took a lot of grief for why he didn't propose to her. Finally, he proposed and they got married. They have a beautiful relationship. Beautiful relationship. But he said, Winter, my biggest thing is that I knew I wanted to provide a certain quality of life for my wife. And I was not going to propose to her until I was in a place to do that. And so her and I had to make a decision to tune out the noise and do what was best for us. And it took them 6 years to get engaged and another year to get to the altar. But at the end of the day, they ended up married. And they are beautiful relationship. But y'all don't want to date. If a man don't marry me in 3 months, he not for me. What? What? You don't even know your uncle in 3 months. You don't even know your uncle in 3 months. Some of y'all don't even know y'all family members. You can't even get to know a good family member in 3 months. And you want to know a complete stranger? And whether or not he's your husband for life? That's just crazy. Why do we tell people that? It's just bananas to me. And we literally set each other up for failure. It's not my business. I don't know if they waited or not. We care way too much about people's sexuality. Stay out of people's bedrooms. It's another issue we have. We're so obsessed with whether or not people are sleeping with people. It's none of your business. That's between them and God. None of your business. None of your business. It really isn't. I know we love to be in the sex of it all, but it's really none of our business. I believe that the best practice is to wait. I do. But it still ain't none of my business. Mind the business that pays you. Yes. We have an obsession with governing people's bedrooms. Stay out of people's bedroom. None of your business. It really isn't. People don't like when I say that, but it's true. It's none of your business. Anyway, let me get off here. I done said enough. I'm going to save this live. I've been on here for 48 minutes. I want people to actually be able to get through the entirety of this live because I'll save it on Facebook and YouTube and I'll save it on IG. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. She said, no, don't go. That's my story and I'm sticking to it, y'all. I had a wonderful conversation. Shout out to my bro, AJ. We talked for 2.5 hours today. He's actually a pastor. And we periodically have these theological and intellectual conversations that lead to so much clarity. But I needed to download this with him because I knew I wasn't really wrong, but he further affirmed that I was on the right track with my thought process. And I'm just personally in a season of unlearning. But in this season of unlearning, there's so much peace and I have much more joy. I'm happier. Y'all, I don't have the burden of trying to rush or trying to make something be something that it's not. I date freely. I enjoy my time. I love getting to know new people. I consider dating an enjoyable thing I mean, I do. I really enjoy dating. So if you ask me what's my opinions on dating, date. I believe in dating until a man actually says that he wants to make our dating interaction exclusive. But let me tell you what, if we ain't had that conversation, honey, you was one of many. Don't ask me no questions. How many men you talking to? Do you really want the answer? You one of many. Until you decide that you want me to be your boo, you one of many. And you better make sure I want to be your boo. You're one of many. And I feel no kind of way. One of many. I entertain until a man makes his intentions clear. Until then, I don't put no pressure on myself. I have a good old time. Honey, one week I think I went out 3 different times with 3 different folks, and I felt no kind of way about it because I'm not having sex. I'm out here just enjoying myself, getting to know people. One of many. Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. And quite frankly, if we're not exclusive, I won't allow a man to ask me questions like that. Don't ask me who I'm talking to. None of your business. I don't want to know who you're talking to either. I don't want to know if I'm one of many, which I probably am. I don't want to know. One of many. How many dudes you got? One of many. We make dating way too complicated, but I think we get our feelings all involved and then we want to sit here with our butts up on our back. None of your business. Mind your business. If I'm not your girlfriend, don't ask me nothing. One of many. Listen, my motto is date all both of them. Right. Could be 1, could be 0, could be 10. One of many. One of many. And that's not me playing games, but I'm telling you now, you're not going to be sitting here holding my time up. I don't know what you're doing. Shoot. If you're serious about me, make your intentions known. You're serious about really examining what we could be, and I feel the same way, then I'm cool with it. You can pull Miss Winter exclusively off the dating market, and we can see what it is. But baby, listen, until we had that conversation, you are one of many. You said this is off topic, but do you think God gets mad at us when we lose faith? Nope. I believe God is gracious. He understands. You said, where do you find these decent men? We need some in London. I can't wait to go to London. I meet decent men everywhere. I think there's a difference between decent men and men that are actually potentials for marriage. And I feel like I just have some basic things that have to check off. Decent men doesn't mean that I'm attracted to you. It doesn't mean that there's, longevity. But if there's a basic core attraction, you know what I mean? I'll give it a chance. It doesn't mean I'm looking for you to walk me down a freaking aisle. You might just honestly be a good friend. I think a lot of women miss out on good friendships with men because they're always looking for a husband. Sometimes I meet a man and listen, we have a good time and it's like, that's my homie. I have some good guy friends in my life. My friend AJ, that's my homie. We ain't never kissed, we ain't never dated, we ain't never nothing. That's my homie though. I call him up because he's a good person to bounce stuff off of. But if I was all rigid and I can't talk around men, that's just ridiculous. No. Some men are just good to hang out with. But I also don't play with men. If I ever get the inclination that a man is feeling me more than just being my friend, then I won't be out here chilling with him like that. Because I know pretty early on whether or not I'm into a person or not. And I'm not the type of person where a person can grow on me. I try to stick to my first inclination. That's where I messed up with this last marriage, because I was not attracted to him at all. And I'm a hopeless romantic. So, honey, if I like you, honey, I like you from the jump. If you are attractive to Winter, Winter is like, hey, you ain't gonna grow on me. And the fact that he had to grow on me already was a red flag. Because I like me a good, attractive man. If a man is attracted to me, baby, listen, I cannot control it. You just look good to me. But if you got to grow on me, they usually don't work. It just never work. It don't usually. I'm 0 for 0 in that. Any man that has had to grow on me has never lasted, ever. I'm just not, I'm just not the growing type. Either I like you or I don't. And either I like you like that or I don't. You know, some people believe that if they ride the friend zone long enough that you'll convert them. I don't believe in conversions. If I see you as my friend, my G, you my friend. You're not going to hop over. And you're not going to magically hop over into, oh, I'm just so madly in love with you. I'm speaking as for me and my house, y'all. Don't, this ain't you, that's you. I'm not saying this apply. I'm speaking it for Winter. You're not going to grow on Winter. If I don't find you attractive, it's not going to magically happen. I'm not going to wake up one day and be like, oh my God. No. Because to me, attraction is pretty organic. You don't know why you're attracted to some people. You just are. Yeah. Zadia, you with me? Shoot. You are not going to grow on me at all. Don't be trying to circle back and see if I can change my mind. And I'm a natural flirt. So just because I'm flirting don't mean I like you either. I think that's a misconception as well. Just because I'm a naturally nice person and I don't ever meet a stranger and I know how to have like conversation, I'm pretty charming. I think that's what it is. A lot of my friends would describe me as a charming personality. But just because I'm charming and I may do a little flirt don't mean I like you. That just means I'm being my normal charming self. So I've had to put some real boundaries in place, because you be a little charming with these ninjas and they try to slide in your DMs. It's like, no, I don't like you like that. I was just being nice. I'm not against the friend zone, but I think you just got to be mindful that some people, like women, do this too. Women ride a man's friend zone and then hope that he'll figure out that she's the one day. Listen, a man put me in a friend zone, I know he don't like me like that. Say less. So let me get my hopes down. Yeah, Zadi, I agree. I believe the friend zone is there for a reason. Growing on you, trying to subconsciously convince yourself. Ain't that the truth, Cab? I agree. You ain't growing on me. She just needs to see my heart. If I'm not attracted to a man, I don't care how good he is. I don't care if he's financially stable. I don't care if he got all the money in the world. If he spoiled me, take me out to dinner. It just ain't there. I cannot be bought. Not in the attraction department. And I think men underestimate how important attraction is to women. And I think attraction looks different to women than it does to men, but it's still very important. And I do have to be attracted to my man. I've tried, y'all. The alternative, it just didn't work out for me. Y'all up here marrying fugly people? I shouldn't say that. I'm not trying to offend, because what's fugly to me is not fugly to other folks. So disregard. Fugly is my word that I use to describe unattractive. But y'all didn't hear me say that. Act like Winter didn't say that. Woo, Child. Okay, so can we talk about how the men of God be smacked? Said how the men of God be ugly. She said, can we talk about how the men of God be smacked? I ain't gonna be able to deal if a man is unattractive. It is very hard for me. I believe in a certain level of attractiveness because if don't nobody else think you're fine, I need to think you're fine. I literally don't care what other people think about my man, but I need to see you and be like, dang, dang. Oh, you look good. Am I the only one? I'm so serious. You can, I don't know why the men of God be smacked, but I know some good looking men of God. I do. Oh, thank you. I surely don't have on no makeup. I appreciate that y'all think it's beautiful. y'all ride for me on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. You said the singles ministry is full of eye boogers, though. So this is the thing. I don't feel like all men of God are ugly, but they do be corny as heck. She said my man cannot be looking like the weapon formed against me. Now, Janisha, now that's just ugly. Attractiveness matters. Attractiveness matters. I need my man to be fine to me. I have to clarify to me because what is fine to me is not fine to another woman, and that's fine. But he need to look good to me. Like, baby, listen. Yes, God. She said, forgive me, Lord. Not this, it's the weapon formed against me for me. I get offended when a man is offended at me for not being attracted to him. But I'm like, dude, I don't know what you want me to do with that. I don't know what you want me to do. What you want me to do? I can't do anything with that. Help us, Father. It do be the audacity. Got the audacity to be upset. Like, no, sir. I have literally don't come on here with that talking about some God don't make ugly. I will speak to the fact that God makes mention of beauty in the Bible, or how beautiful Ruth was, or how beautiful Rachel was. God knew what he was doing. He may not have said that somebody was ugly, but there are levels of attractiveness for sure. I don't think I thought the Bible was wrong for saying how that girl had tangly eyes. They didn't have to put Leah out there like that and say that her eyes were tangly or weak-eyed. What does that mean exactly? What does a weak eye mean? Does that mean she has a lazy eye? Is that what that means? Like, I need clarification. Any theologians on here? The way that they describe that lady, they literally are making a distinction of how beautiful Rachel was and how she was prettier than Leah. Come over here with that. I don't believe God make ugly either, but there are levels of attractiveness. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me a frog is more beautiful than a butterfly. And I know we sensitive around that topic because everybody gets a trophy these days, and it's fine. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying, don't be mad at me because I'm not attracted to you. And I believe that attractiveness is innate. Like, we cannot control who we are attracted to. And I should not be faulted because I don't want your corny self. You said folks just sitting there ugly. I cannot. I agree. Now, I do believe there are things that can make you more attractive. Like if you take care of your body, if you take care of your skin, if You present yourself well. I've seen women that are not necessarily the most attractive visually, but they actually know how to keep themselves, and they'll get a man before women that are actually drop dead gorgeous. But let the Lord say I had a weak eye. What if I was in the Bible and the Bible's like Winter had a weak eye? That's not a compliment. Y'all, my sinuses is tripping. You said that means she was cockeyed. Y'all a mess. She was cockeyed. I don't know what weak eyed. The actual text says she was weak eyed. What's up, B? You said you stepping on toes right now. I sure I am, because Christian women don't like for you to talk about beauty, honey. They said the husband, the man God has for them is going to see their heart. Not if you wearing a turtleneck up to your ears. You said God still favored Leah. She was the lineage of Jesus because he felt sorry for her. It was like a consolation prize. I'm not saying that favor is attached to attractiveness, but I do know for a fact that as a woman, she would have preferred to know that Jacob was in love with her. Don't be, first of all, don't come on here acting like you want a man that is blatantly not attracted to you. That would, as a woman, that would damage my self-esteem to know that there's a more attractive woman they said Jacob loved Leah. This man worked 14 freaking years to be able to marry her. That's a special type of love. That means he had to have her. There was something about her that he had to have, that he was willing to take on her sister that was less attractive, marry her, sleep with her. That wasn't optional for him. He had to sleep with her. That wasn't his preference, though. That wasn't his preference. We're not going to sit here and pretend like that was his preference. So God had to favor her through lineage, which God is gracious and kind. I think it's kind, but I wouldn't want 6 kids in exchange for a man's love and attraction towards me. I would want a husband that really loves me. It was her heart. Okay. Who defines beauty? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But y'all don't come on here doing that. Y'all know good and well that there is such a thing as universal beauty, and there's such a thing as universal not. But it is certainly in the eyes of the beholder. But if y'all want your husband and wives to not be attracted to y'all, then my God, I mean, you like it, I love it. You said how many women post their worst pictures on Christian singles? Ugh. What kind of profile photos y'all putting on Christian Mingle? Them turtleneck photos? Talking about some Jesus is my husband? I hope y'all not doing that. I really hope y'all not out here doing that. I'm putting the baddest photo I can find out here in the streets. But I don't believe in dating apps because they scare me a little bit. They just overwhelm me, so I don't do dating apps. Stresses me out. But I at least hope if you're partaking in dating apps that you're not putting your ugliest photo up there, because he's not looking at your heart first. Just saying. And some women are not less physically attractive, they're just overweight. But I'm gonna leave that alone because I know a lot of people sensitive about their weight. Truth be told, some men are not unattractive, they're just not in shape. Some men would drastically change the quality of women they attract simply by getting in a gym. I don't know. Sorry, y'all have to fix my chair. You said some folks like to tussle over this topic, but the facts are people should be attracted to each other. Child. You said, Winter, you to come on my radio show and speak this truth to my audience. Thank you for being straight on this topic. I do my best. Hi, Tamika. I think taking care of our physical temple is an underrated commodity in the realm of attractiveness, but some people just need to flat lose weight. I've never seen the like of so many women that are overweight talking about I don't understand why a man isn't attracted to me, yet you got pictures of freaking Tay Diggs and Morris Chestnut on your wall. Them men is in a gym. And last I seen their wives, they are in the gym too. So, and I don't want to deal with a man that's got 3 chins. It's not, hey, no, nothing against if you do have a chin or 3. But I'm just saying I'm not personally attracted to it. I'm not. I like a man that does his best to present himself well. You're not going to be standing next to me looking broke, busted, and disgusted. I don't want to be ashamed of my husband and my significant other. You need to be able to step out, honey. When we step out, step out. Because I'm always going to do my best to put my best foot forward. But I don't want to be trying to figure out what to do with your 3 chins. Nothing I can do with that. Now, if your husband has 3 chins and you love him with his 3 chins, God bless y'all. I support it. Y'all like it, I love it. But I don't want a husband with 3 chins because I'm not going to have 3 chins. And honestly, I'm a woman that I prefer to maintain my weight. Granted, I've had children. So I do have my honorary tiger stripes. I do. It's what it is. If you are looking for a woman that does not have honorary tiger stripes, then I'm not for you. But I do keep myself up. I do take pride in making sure I present well. I'm never going to have my man embarrassed of me when we step out. My goal is to present myself like I am the baddest in the room. What you mean? What happens when you get older? I'm going to do my best to take care of myself until I cannot take care of myself any longer. Age is no excuse not to take care of yourself. I understand I may age, but I purposely make sure that I take vitamins, I take supplements, I take care of myself so that I maintain a certain level of attractiveness and beauty. What is age? That has nothing to do with it. I might get a little love handle here and there, and I expect that my husband will love me till death, regardless of that. But I don't ever plan to just let myself go. I want my husband chasing me around in the living room, honey, when we 80. Baby, listen. I take pride in it, but if I take pride in my appearance, I want my man to take pride in his appearance. I do not want to be hiding you off in no corner, trying to slide a paper bag over your head or trying to duck and dodge you in the midst of other folks because I don't really like the way you be looking. I've done that, and that is a very uncomfortable feeling. It is. I'm not talking about big. Listen, I know this is an uncomfortable topic, y'all. And I know people are weight sensitive, but hear me when I say this. We are dying much younger these days because we are flat unhealthy. And this is not about fat shaming. At some point, you have to address your temple. This is not about being a size 0. It is making sure that you take care of your temple because you only get 1. So, yes, there are beautiful, big, voluptuous women. Quite frankly, I'm not the skinniest. Your girl got curves, okay? I've had kids. I got body. I have a chest. I have hips. I have butt. It is there. But there is no excuse for me to be unhealthy. And that's all I'm saying. We have really become comfortable with being gluttonous. But that's a different story for a different day, especially for the people that love to be Christian and quote the law. And we eat too much. You want to control what people are doing in their bedrooms, yet you can't put down McDonald's for 3 days. Just saying. So listen. Like I said, do what works for you. But we cannot complain when we have sickness and diseases that are fueled by unhealthiness. We are responsible for caring for our own temples. We are. Yeah, I don't want to listen. I've been in a situation where I didn't want nobody to know I was with somebody. And quite frankly, it's still some folks I don't want people to know I dated. And quite frankly, if they ever mention that we dated, on God, I promise y'all, with everything in me, I'm gonna deny it more times than Peter denied Jesus. If somebody, I have had some situations where I've dated some men that I was just flat not attracted to. Let them, just because your girl is on TV, let them come out talking about something that used to be my ex. Who? I don't know her. I know you not. Who you dated? Not me. Some people I don't want to claim. I had a phase where I was just out here giving people chances. It's nothing worse than giving a hoe hope. It's not possible. You shouldn't do it. I equate giving a hoe hope to similar giving people that you had no business giving hope to. I know you not. Telling you, be out here struggling these streets. Don't be out here telling folks we used to date. I don't even remember names that well. So after some time, I don't remember no names. I can neither confirm nor deny, Sean. Like, sorry to this man. I don't know who that man is. Listen. Don't be over here telling folks. I don't need that. Let me get off here. Y'all I've been on here too long. It's an hour and 17 minutes. All right. Y'all have a great night. This has been a great discussion. I will save this video on YouTube. I'll save it on Facebook as well. I will actually save this live on IG, but I only save my replays for my subscribers. So if you'd like to see the replay of this video, make sure you subscribe to my IG so you can be an insider. And I'm actually, when the season starts, am going to start going live in my subscriber chat. I'm going to start doing recaps on YouTube, and I'm going to do exclusive lives and recaps on my subscriber channel for IG. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for allowing me to rant and share my thoughts. And hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, well, I hope you at least got a good laugh. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.